Whatever we are doing in the branches, we'll be studying that in, and what is the base of it, that from where it is coming. So bucket 1, as I had told you yesterday, that bucket 1 consists of around 7 units: banker customer relationship, AML KYC guidelines, operational aspects of KYC, operational opening accounts of various types of customers, operational aspects of deposit account, operational aspects of clearing, collection and cash, and bankers special relationship. So I divide this unit, this module, into first bucket will be this bucket, where we are going to study the very basics of the operations of the bank. So first of all, regarding KYC, what is KYC? What is KYC and why KYC is important? Can any of you answer this question if you can type? Because if you are traveling, you don't need to type. Only those who can type easily, they can please just type in the chat box. Why do we need KYC? Yes, it is know your customer. So what documents do we take for knowing our customer? What are the basic documents which we take for knowing our customer? We take OVDs, right? We take one identity, one for identity, and we want to know what their address is. To know authenticity of customer, know the customer, we take PAN card. Is PAN card considered under OVD? Is PAN card considered OVD? PAN card is not OVD, officially valid document. Yes, for tax purpose, we take for a PAN card to see whether the person is in taxable income or not. If a person is not having PAN card, then what other document do we take? If a person does not have their PAN card with them, what other document do we take? We take Form 60. Absolutely right. So we will see these are other OVDs. What you are mentioning is these are other OVDs. I asked if someone is not having PAN card, then what other document do we take? We either take Form 60 or 61. So first unit is all about relationship, banker-customer relationship. And these are different kind of banker-customer relationship. Now the first relationship which gets established in a bank is that of someone is coming to your bank and he or she wants to open saving account. What kind of relation do you have in that case? Anyone knows? When someone is coming to your branch for opening saving account, what kind of relationship do you have with the customer? Anyone knows what kind of relationship we have when a person comes to your branch and opens saving account? Creditor, debtor. Who will be creditor? In case of saving deposit account, who will be the creditor? And bank will be debtor. Why customer is a creditor? Can anyone answer why customer is creditor in case of deposit account? Can anyone answer the question? Exactly, this is the right answer, that the customer is giving money to the bank, and what bank will do is, so how the banking business works. The basic of banking is that if someone is depositing 100 rupees, we will have to keep some amount for CRR, cash reserve ratio, and some amount for SLR, that is statutory liquidity ratio. You will study about this in your Indian economy and Indian financial system, and rest money is left with the bank. CRR, SLR, if we consider it to be around 25 to 30%, then out of this 100 rupees, 30 rupees will go for CRR. Will do is bank will lend it to the borrower. So this is given by depositor. This was given to us by depositor. Depositor is giving us 100 rupees. We are taking that money. That is why in this case, when we are taking deposit, depositor becomes creditor, and because bank has to pay it back to the depositor. Whatever term, if suppose anyone has deposited this 100 rupees for certain term, if it is deposited for 3 years, say. So after 3 years, bank, it is the liability of the bank to pay it back to the depositor, and that is why what kind of relationship we will be having? Depositor is the creditor because he is giving us capital, and we are using that capital for giving loan to another people. That is why, and bank is liable for paying it back to the depositor after the term which has been chosen by the bank, and that is why bank is debtor in this case, right? Now bank will not only give rupees 100 to the depositor. Why would anyone give their deposit if they are not earning anything? So bank will have to give certain interest also on that money, right? So bank will give, suppose, say 7% of interest on this 100 rupees. So bank will pay to the depositor 100 plus 7%. Exactly, bank is liable to give money when demanded. So bank is debtor and customer is creditor. Now, in this case, where we are giving loan to the customer, who will be the creditor? When we are giving this loan to the borrower, who will become the creditor? In case of loans, bank will become creditor and the borrower will become debtor. So we have similar kind of relationship in deposit account and in loan account, but the creditor debtor will change. And on this 70 rupees which we have given to the borrower, we will charge interest. Suppose it is 10% of interest which we will charge from the customer. So he will be paying us 70 plus 10% on this amount on the agreed term. Whatever term for which bank has given loan to the customer, he will repay us back. So in case of deposit account, loan account, we have relationship of creditor, debtor and debtor, creditor. So in case of deposit in the account, we are bank is debtor, customer is creditor. Loan from bank, bank is creditor and customer is debtor. Now comes safe custody. What is safe custody? If any of the borrower gives you any valuable thing to keep it with you, like any gold is given to the bank or any document is given to the bank for keeping it in the safe custody, then in that case the relation will be bank will become bailee and customer will become bailer. We give locker to the customer. So customer is free to use that locker the way they want. They can keep their gold ornaments. They can keep cash, although we tell them not to keep cash, but some of the customers might be keeping cash. We don't know. Then they can also keep their documents there. Any other valuable thing they can keep there. So we don't know what is being kept there. Although there are guidelines that you cannot keep certain things there, but we are giving that locker for lease to the customer. When we are giving it for the lease, the relationship will become lessor and lessee. So in that case, bank will become lessor and lessee. These two are different things. Safe custody and lockers are different thing. In safe custody, bank is responsible for keeping the things the way it was given to the bank. It is only for safe custody. In locker, we don't know what is kept there. We are giving that space, the space of the locker, for as a lease to the customer. So in that case, the relationship is of lessor and lessee. Then comes collection of check. Collection of check means that a customer of your bank deposited check in your branch. So you became the collecting bank. You are collecting the check. Suppose you are in PNB. I'm just taking one example. You are in PNB and the check which is deposited is of Bank of India. So PNB is collecting bank. Bank of India is the paying bank, but you will get that check payment done because you will get that payment done. That is why you will become agent for the customer. This you are doing on behalf of the customer. This becomes your duty that you will get it cleared from PNB. Sorry, Bank of India. You are PNB. The customer has deposited check of Bank of India. PNB becomes collecting bank. Bank of India becomes paying bank. Because you are taking the responsibility, PNB is taking the responsibility of the payment of that check. So you become agent. And who is the principal on whose behalf you are working? So you're working on behalf of the customer. So customer will become principal. So here we have relationship of agent and principal. Then purchase of draft. Purchase of draft, again, it will be debtor and creditor relationship as we have in the case of deposit. When you have to pay a draft, when a draft has to be paid, the customer, the bank become trustee and customer become beneficiary, because who will get benefited of the payment of the draft? The customer will get benefited in whose account the payment is done. Pledge, we will study about these, pledge and mortgage, when we will do loan section. But I'll try to explain it. I'll not go into very detail. But pledge is a kind of charge which we put on any kind of security where you own the security, you have the documents, you have the title, but the customer is using that on your behalf. As a banker, I am the owner of the title. That product is under my custody. Suppose anyone is taking loan and for stock which is kept in a warehouse. So warehouse receipt will be deposited to the bank. Because receipt is with me, I'm considering myself as the bank. So since receipt is with me, I am the title holder. I have the ownership of that goods which is kept in warehouse. And in that case, I have just given it to the customer to use it. That is why in pledge, we have pledgee and pledger, which is also pawner and pawnee. Mortgages we do in case of land and property. When we take it as security, we will go into detail about pledge and mortgage when we will do loan section. Standing instruction. What is standing instruction? Standing instructions and sale purchase of securities on behalf of customer. Again, you will see that we are doing this on behalf of the customer. Standing instruction is where the customer wants their loan account maybe to be debited to their deposit account to be debited and credited to their savings account is debited, loan account is credited. I'm getting confused with debited, credited. Just a minute. Savings accounts get debited. Savings account gets debited. We deposit it in loan account. So there is credit in loan account. For that, we put standing instruction that this should be done this much amount and on this particular date. We all do that. In case of loans, we do that. So in that case, we are working on behalf of the bank. On behalf of the customer. Because he doesn't need to come daily, he will just sign standing instructions, and this becomes the duty of the bank that on that particular date, if it is suppose 5th of every month, 5th of every month, 10,000 should be debited from savings account and loan account should be credited. Customer has given standing instructions, now he is free. And whose responsibility is this? The responsibility lies with the bank, and that is why we are working as agent in this case, and customer becomes principal. Sale purchase of securities on behalf of a customer. Sale and purchase of security, like in case of ASBA, you must have studied about or know about IPO. When we apply through IPO, it becomes duty of the bank that if allotment is not done, we have to release the money. So in that case also, we become agent for the customer and customer becomes principal. Money deposited but instructions not given for its proposed disposal. Then in that case, bank is trustee and customer is beneficiary. Suppose deposited account is deposited and there is no instruction. There is no standing instruction. We don't know what we have to do. So we have taken that money as a trustee. This we are not talking about our deposit account. This could be any money which is kept by the bank, although we rarely do such kind of things. Articles left by mistake. If suppose a person came to your branch, he was having his property documents with him, and before going from the I'm teaching principles and practices of banking. If suppose a person comes to your branch, he was having his property documents in his hand. Before leaving the branch, he left it in the bank. Now you found that, or any of the staff found that, that's someone has left the property documents in the bank. So you will keep it with yourself till the time customer comes to you and ask for that document. In that case, what will be the relationship? Relationship will be trustee. You will work as a trustee and customer is beneficiary, because on trust basis you are keeping that document. Shares given for sale, again you are doing it on behalf. Whenever we are doing something on behalf of the customer, we become agent and customer becomes principal. And hypothecation is another form of charge which we have. We will do this in loan section, and here bank becomes hypothecatee and customer is hypothecator. We will do this when we will do the loan section, that is module B. Now this is money laundering. We will do in detail money laundering when we will start with the units from Monday. Money laundering is what? That any dirty money which is earned by gambling or any kind of criminal activity. And what customer will do is, what customer will do is, any person who is doing criminal activity, he has got some 5-10 crores rupees, and because that is a dirty money, how that can be cleaned? It will go into the laundry of financial institutions and banks. So how this is done? This is done is that multiple accounts are opened in fake names, and that is why KYC is such an important thing. I'm taking this in foundation class because why we have to study KYC, why KYC is such an important thing, because money laundering, you don't have to become a laundry for the dirty money which is being earned by any of the criminal activities. And to understand this, you have to understand that these are done through fictitious account. So you have to be very careful while opening accounts. That is why KYC is such an important thing. So how this is done? Multiple accounts are opened, and this is called placement. First collection of dirty money, it is deposited into financial system. It could be bank, financial institutions, other financial institutions, and it will be divided in so many ways. And it will go into the bank. After that, layering will be done. Multiple transactions will go through that. Multiple transaction could be, they could transfer from one account to another account. They can transfer from one country to another country. They can have some Benami business accounts. And with that, they will show that this is for business purpose. This they have done the payment. And as a banker, it is nearly impossible to go through every transaction and know exactly what the customer is doing, right? It is nearly impossible. Even in a single branch, you cannot go through all the transactions what the customer is doing. So the first thing you have to keep in mind where a banker can stop this money laundering is at the time of opening account or at the time of first knowing the customer, and that is why KYC is such an important subject for the bankers. So second thing is, after placement, second process is of layering, where multiple transactions will be done in different accounts, in different businesses. They will show that different payments are being done. Once the layering is done, it becomes difficult to understand where the origin was, from where did it originated, from whose account it was originated, because so many transactions has already taken place in different accounts at different places. It may be because it is very easy to transfer money even abroad, and so there are few countries where it is heaven for criminal activities, because The countries are not that developed. They don't have that check and balances where they can see. That is why you will see that RBI has a caution list of countries where we cannot deal with, because they don't have very strong systems where they can stop these transactions. So after layering, it will be again moved to a safer place. They can maybe buy some factory or home or anything luxury, and this phase is called integration. So placement, layering, and then integration. So this is the money laundering cycle. And after the integration is done, now what the customer will do? They started with a criminal activity, and after integration, they can again do a financing for terrorist activity. And who will be liable? The bankers. Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear to all of you? The whole process of money laundering, terrorism financing, KYC, this is the foundation of what you have to study in module A, the first bucket we are talking about, where we have to study about KYC. Is it clear to everyone? Am I audible or not audible? No one is replying anything. Am I audible? Money laundering is clear to all of you? Money laundering cycle is clear to all of you. I hope you will not forget this, and don't I know it becomes repetitive in my classes that I always say this, that don't just study for your JAIIB exams. Take it as a professional diploma which you are doing for your banking services. So once you know the concepts, it will become easier for you to work in the bank as well as clear your JAIIB in first single attempt. It will not be very difficult if you know the concepts. So I hope most of you have understood. If anyone has any problem, then you can ask me in the chat box. And by the time I'm moving to the next slide, if anyone has any query, please type in the chat box. Now comes bucket 2. I talked about bucket, and I have made this bucket so that it is also very clear to you what you have to study. In bucket 1, we have to study about KYC, different deposit accounts. I hope deposit accounts won't be very difficult to you. Can any one of you name few of the deposit accounts which we open in the branches? I hope most of you will be able to answer this. What kind of deposit accounts do we open? So this is absolutely right. We open saving account, current account, FD, RD. What do we call the saving and current account jointly? What is we call savings and current account jointly? KCC is not a deposit account. That is a loan account. We will study about that in the loan section. CC is again not a deposit account, that is a loan account. Savings and current account, they jointly are known as CASA. Can any one of you tell me why CASA is such an important thing for top management? Why CASA is such an important thing for the top management? Exactly, because that is low deposit, low interest, low cost deposits. We are paying less interest on CASA deposits, and because we have to increase the interest margin for the bank, we prefer to have CASA deposits. And there is a difference between, there will be a huge difference between loan and deposit. So it will be beneficial for the bank, right? This is the concept behind it, that CASA is favorite for all the top management officers. They want CASA, they don't want FD, because in FD we are paying higher interest, and the interest margin, if we are taking 10% from borrowers, we are paying 7%, we are earning only 3%, and then on that 3%, we have an administrative expense, we have staff expense, we have other expenses as well. So the bank will not be earning much, and that is why CASA is such an important thing. Now comes bucket 2. So bucket 2 will have foreign exchange remittance facilities for individuals, operational aspects of NRI business, and foreign currency accounts for residents and other aspects. So in bucket 2, I am taking these 3 units which are related to foreign exchange. Foreign exchange is what? Foreign currency, when we exchange it. For US dollars, we are paying Indian rupees. For Indian rupees, we are paying US dollars. That is called foreign exchange. We are exchanging foreign currency. That is foreign exchange. Now, why do we need to study this? Because we cater not only to the resident Indians, we cater to the needs of NRIs also, and we get huge amount of deposit from NRI business also, because they will come to India, they will transfer money to their relatives here in India, and that is why this is a profitable business for the bank, that they are getting deposit from there. For RBI also, because foreign exchange will help to have forex reserve in RBI. That is why it is important that as a banker we must understand the foreign exchange remittances also. In these units, we will study about what NRI is, what PIO is, what kind of accounts they can open. We will also see, like in foreign currency account for resident and other aspects, that what kind of accounts can be opened by resident Indians. Suppose I am living in India, can I open an account in foreign currency? Is it possible? Yes or no? Is it possible? Can, as a resident Indian, can I open? So there are mixed answers. Yes, no, yes, no. What if I am teaching to people who are living abroad and they are making me payment in different currencies? Can then I open any account? They will not convert it to Indian rupees. If I have to go and give lecture in Harvard University, how will they pay me? They will not pay me in Indian rupees. It is very much possible that resident Indians can also open account in foreign currency, and that is what we will study in the 3rd unit, that in what are the circumstances in which foreign currency accounts can be opened by resident Indians. Suppose someone is doing export-import business. They have to make payment in different currencies. They can open account. If I am working as a faculty and I have to go to another place, If I'm going to another places, suppose I'm going for lecture to US, I'm going for lectures to Japan, they will pay me in their currency. They will not pay me in Indian rupees. In that case, I will need account, foreign currency account. Although I am resident Indian, I'm not staying outside India for more than 183 days, and that is why my status is of resident Indian. I'm not an NRI, but I go for lectures for maybe 20 days, 1 month, and then I come back. In those cases, resident Indians can also open foreign currency account. Just a minute. So this is a small comparison of the accounts which we open for NRIs and PIOs. NRIs are non-resident Indians. PIOs are person of Indian origins, and OCI. OCI is Overseas Citizens of India. We will study about this in detail when we'll be doing the units. So NRE account, NRO account, FCNR account. All those who have not worked in foreign exchange, this may seem as very difficult, but it is not. NRE and NRO account. NRE account can be opened by anyone who is earning in foreign land, any of the foreign country, and they want to have some deposit account here in India. They can open NRE account. NRO account is for those person who are either moving out now. Suppose I am right in India, I want to immigrate to, suppose, Canada. I want to immigrate, then what my savings account will, that can be converted into NRO account. Or if I have moved outside, but I'm getting some payments, maybe I'm having some property here in India and I'm getting the payment of rent, then in that case, person can open NRO account. FCNR is TD account, and this can be opened in different currencies. So this is different in NRE, NRO, FCNR. NRE account can be in savings account, current account, TD and RD. NRO also can be savings, current account, TD, RD. FCNR is only TD account. This is term deposit account. So deposit can be foreign currency, in NRO Indian currency, and FCNR convertible currency. Foreign currency means that someone is saving here in India although they are earning in some other place. Indian currency means in NRO account the payment is coming from Indian sources. Taxation taxable because earning is from India, and FCNR is not taxable. Repatriability. Repatriation means can you convert that to another currency and take it with you to another country. For that, there is full repatriability. They can convert the whole money and take it with them to the country where they are living. In NRO account, there is a restriction. There is a restriction of 1 million USD that can be converted and taken there. Other remittances can also be done, but in few of the cases, the customer has to take permission from RBI, otherwise they cannot remit beyond a certain limit. We will study about all these things in when we will do foreign exchange. FCNR is also repatriable, fully repatriable. Account type is saving current TDRD. Again, in NRO also saving current TDRD, and FCNR it is TD only, and it can be opened in convertible currency. What does convertible currency means is that there are so many countries, so many currencies. Is it possible for RBI to convert every single currency? It is practically impossible, because we have our Indian currency can be converted to few currencies because we know the exchange rates. It is impossible to know the exchange rate with all the small and every kind of countries, every kind of currency which exists in the world. So there are few currencies which are permitted by RBI, like US dollars, Australian dollars, Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. So these are euros. These are the convertible currencies in which FCNR can be opened. These are defined. These are acceptable to RBI. Only those currencies are allowed to be opened as FCNR account. Is it clear? Is it clear? Then module A, bucket 3. Bucket 3 is cash management services and its importance, payment and collection of check, other negotiable instruments, responsibility of paying bank, responsibility of collecting bank, ancillary services. These topics are different from financial inclusion and financial literacy. So this is bucket 3 which we have to study. Now cash management services. Cash management, bank has given a lot of cash management services. In some of the banks, they have outsourced it. Why outsourcing has been done? So that it becomes easier for the customer, and at some places it is convenient for the bank also to manage the cash, like filling the ATMs or taking cash from units where a lot of cash transactions is being done. So bank provide cash pickup facilities. We'll study about cash management services. Then we have payment collection of check, other negotiable instruments. Negotiable instrument is what? Negotiable instrument, we will study about this Negotiable Instrument Act. It is one of the most important act which we have to study. NI Act, which deals with 3 kind of instruments widely used in commercial transactions: promissory notes, bills of exchange, and checks are called negotiable instruments. Negotiable means we can transfer it to another person, we can negotiate it, and these are the definitions which are given for different instruments. Today I'm not going into detail. We will do this in when we'll start with the subject, that what a check is, what promissory note is, what bill of exchange is. So we will be studying about checks in this bucket list. We'll study about paying and collecting bank. As I told you that suppose your bank is PNB, your customer received a check of Bank of India, he deposited it in his account. Now it is your duty to get that check collected from, get that check paid by through clearing from Bank of India. So because you are taking the check, PNB will be called what? Is it collecting bank or is it paying bank? What it will be called? If your bank is PNB and a customer of your branch, Mr. A, deposited a check of Bank of India because he has his account in PNB, then PNB will be called collecting bank or paying bank. When I started the class and I was discussing this banker customer relationship, I had mentioned this. What PNB will be called? PNB will be called collecting bank. They are collecting the check. So PNB is collecting bank in this case. PNB will, Bank of India will make the payment of the check. That is why Bank of India will become paying bank. So what are the responsibilities of collecting bank? What is the responsibility of paying bank? We have different units for this because this has to be as per Negotiable Instrument Act. In some of the cases, the Negotiable Instrument Bank will not save you. So in which cases you can be saved if you do any wrong transaction. That is why it is very important to understand what is the responsibility of collecting bank and what is the responsibility of paying bank. If as a collecting bank you are taking checks, then you have to be careful of what? If you are paying a check which came into clearing, then where is the protection which is given by the Negotiable Instrument Act? This we will be studying in this particular bucket, and that is why it is again important that you understand the concept behind that. Now bucket 4 of module A will be customer service guidelines, duties and rights of a banker and customer rights, grievance redressal RBI Integrated Ombudsman Scheme of 2021, Consumer Protection Act 2019 Preamble Extent and Definitions, and Right to Information Act 2005. So these bucket I have included because everything relates to customer service. These all come under customer service. What are the customer service guidelines? As a banker, what are your duties and rights? What is RBI Integrated Ombudsman Scheme? Because this has been amended in 2021. Consumer Protection Act. Consumer Protection Act is for all the products which we use. For that we get protection. So what are the instructions in that? And RTI 2005. And one disclaimer I would like to give to all of you. This particular bucket will be a little boring because you have to understand the guidelines. And that is why I think that this bucket is little boring to know. But as a banker, you have to know this. For clearing your JAIIB exams, you have to know this. And what rights and responsibilities you have, for that you have to know this. So you'll have to study. There is no other option. That although this bucket list is little boring kind of study, but we can't do anything. We have to study and understand this also. Now what RTI is? You must have read about RTI, that any customer can ask for any information from any public authority that has been provided to the customers, and as a customer, if you consider yourself as a customer, then this is very beneficial, that sometimes you don't know what the thing is, where the thing is going wrong. So government has given this right so that you can take out the information from the public authorities. There are few instructions regarding that, who can answer the question. If as a banker you receive RTI, then whether you can answer the question, who is liable for answering the questions. If you don't reply within the given timeline, then what will happen after that timeline? Or if the customer is not satisfied with your answer, where can he go? Is there any appellate authority where he can go if he is not satisfied with the answer which is being provided by the bank? So we'll be studying about all this in this particular bucket, where we'll study about customer service, different kinds of grievance redressal and everything. So right of information was enacted with intent to provide setting out the practical regime for citizens to get information under control of public authority. And this is to promote transparency and accountability in the working of every public authority. The act aims at containing corruption and holding the government and their instrumentalities accountable to the governed by the providing access to information. So this is the thing, and we have almost covered few things which you have to study in your module A. Tomorrow we will be doing module B, some basics of that. And all those who have not joined the batch, we have already launched the batch. If you have not downloaded the app, then download the app from Google Play or Apple Store. You will have to go to all courses, JAIIB, CIB, and in JAIIB May 2025, you can take Mahapack. In Mahapack, you get the benefit of other courses also which we launch, that is revision batch or crash course batches. That benefit will be given in JAIIB Mahapack. This batch has started from 30th, and my classes is going to start from Monday. Tomorrow again we have a foundation class where we will be doing some of the foundation basics of the loan. And for getting maximum discount, you have to type Y984 and then apply. So you will get the maximum discount here of 80%. So all those who have not enrolled, enroll it now, because we are starting from Monday, and this was just a basic class of module A. Tomorrow we will be doing module B and we'll understand the basics of loans. It will become, once we are done with the basics, it will become easier for you to carry forward. And if you have any question, yes, tomorrow I have class, same time, 6 to 7. It will again be a foundation class. As we had today, I covered module A, little bit of module A. Tomorrow I'll be doing the basics of loans and advances. So anyone, any question? Anyone would like to ask any other question? So with that, I'm signing off for today. No, I will create WhatsApp group when everyone joins me on Monday. I will ask you for details on Monday. I'm not taking it now because some of you have not joined and some of you are watching me through YouTube for this video. So we'll be doing that once the batch starts, and then we will have this. And in anything else, otherwise I'll sign off for today. So thank you all and good night. We'll meet tomorrow then, 6 to 7. Thank you all. Yeah, I will do that again. I will do that again whenever we will start with the units. I'll cover it again. So whatever questions you have, if anything I have said in this particular video, you can ask me tomorrow or you can ask me from Monday, because from Monday we will be starting with the units, individual units. I will cover it again. Is it okay, Karthik ji? Is it okay if I cover it from when we start with the units? Okay, then thanks a lot, and bye everyone.